Peace, fam. How are you? Hope all is well. Let me check my microphone now. Right? Oh, pardon me. Well, it's nothing I'm really seeing. If y'all see stuff in there, it is what it is. But I gotta turn my microphone on. Give me 1 second, right? Because I want to make sure you guys allow apps to access your microphone. It's on. Okay. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to keep this up a little close to me, right? Hopefully. Let me try one more thing. Okay, we at 100%. So, I forgot I said that I would invest in a microphone, which I will do, right? I just been so busy in this world, right? So, what I wanted to build about, right, is this. You have, like I said, I made a video. You may get it before this and after. I don't know, right? It is what it is. So, what I want to build about in this moment, right, is these people talking about, like Beyonce, for instance, is misappropriating their culture, right? Um, And I've been hearing that not only from Africans, but stupid ass African Americans as well, right? Stupid people who lack proper knowledge, right? Of how all this shit came to be. So, um, we can go here. We'll start with Beyonce, then I'll get over into the Native Americans, right? So, we're going to start with Beyonce. Beyonce, right? Mother, right? Is from Louisiana. That's Marie Laveau's camp, right? Marie Laveau, right? One of our great ancestors who was nothing to be played with. Uh, you know, she had a devil on the run. I told people a long time ago. When they were doing all this bullshit to us the first time, we had to get our uh Marie Laveau type of energy back within us, right? But anyway, with Beyonce, Beyonce's mother is from um, Louisiana, right? And I also learned that Beyonce has Haitian blood within her too, right? And my great grandfather came through that camp, right? Came through that Louisiana port shit and migrated to uh, Delaware and met my Native American Delaware grandmother, right? Who was a nanny coat, right? Which means those who took a seat, right? So, with the nanny codes, right? Which is really never mentioned. That's why I'd be looking at a lot of these stupid. See, the reason why a lot of these stupid ass people, you know, who who are like lost sheep that follow a lot of these motherfuckers that don't know what they be talking about, right? That gets this regurgitated information and put it out there and don't know what the fuck they talking about. It's very disturbing, right? So, um, I'm not from what they call the five tribes, $5 Indians of America, okay? But my great grandparents from South Carolina first was a PD River Native American, right? And then my father's great grandmother here in the northeast, right, was a nanny coat. Okay. So now the reason why I tell you that is because we go to Beyonce, right? Beyonce did Black is King, right? And you had these motherfuckers talking about she was misappropriating African culture, right? So let me explain something to you. See, a lot of people, it depends on where the fuck they from really did lose their knowledge in the United States of America, right? They really can't trace their tree like most of us are fortunate enough to know our history in its purest form, right? So, um, in the Gullah Islands, in Oyotunji, South Carolina, right? And then my great grandfather's family was is where my grandfather met my grandmother. Um, they were Petey River Indians in Sumter, South Carolina, which is named after Thomas Sumter, who led Fort Sumter's Civil War in Charleston, South Carolina. Just in case you weren't aware of that, right? Because let me tell you something. For since I can remember, I've been coming from the north to the south, right? And I've always been fascinated with history. So I've been places, not only on my own family's property and things of that nature, but I've been places in the South, right, that still has the blood of our ancestors in the oak trees. Okay? So when I tell you that have been preserving our culture for a very long fucking time, be it negative or positive, there are places here in the United States of America that can show and prove that we never lost our fucking link to Africa, not even during the transatlantic slave movement, okay? Most of the things you see nowadays that people even eat come from our ancestors here, especially rice, right? The Gullah Islands was infamous and notorious for rice and indigo. We have a tribe of people in South Carolina called the Indigo people around the Gullah Islands. Their hands are black, okay? Well, not just the hand, but from the hand all the way here is black with indigo because from generations to generations, they were taking their natural hands, dipping indigo. A lot of them died from indigo poison. Okay. So I don't want people to be getting misconstrued when they listen to motherfuckers that don't really have the knowledge that they really properly supposed to have to teach you something, right? So when you say appropriate, misappropriating culture, right? So if we look at, they call Beyonce a witch, they call Beyonce all this shit, but these sciences have been passed down to us from generation to generation from our great grandparents. Okay, when you go to the South, right? Especially Oyotunji, right? When you go to the South, you may cry, right? Seeing the beauty that Black Americans have preserved since the day we came here off the boats, right? So when you go to Oyotunji, especially down in Oyotunji, a lot of us have the bloodline. I told you I got Nigeria, but it's also Sierra Leone in there too, okay? So we brought America, descendants of slaves, right? We brought African culture from all over Africa here to America. We put that work in, right? Showing and proving, right? We were still the children of Africa through our works that is seen and heard everywhere, even to this day, right? So I wanted to get that part. I didn't like that. I really didn't like that. Ogun, Oshun, Obatala, Ishu, Babalu Eye. You go down the line, it don't matter, right? All is in our DNA. So nobody going to tell us that we are uh, misappropriating their fucking culture when it's in our DNA as well, when we have been taught these things as babies, right? Passed on from generation to generation for 400 fucking years before an African from the continent ever stepped foot on American soil. So I wanted that to be taken care of, right? And you know what? Um, I'm the type of person I've learned to separate the art from the artist, right? And I believe I want to say Beyonce did a very good job at showing and proving that this has been in our DNA, right? Since the days we arrived here, right? And not only did we have African culture, we mixed with the natives here, okay? So then you have native culture mixed with African culture, right? See, and then like my great grandmother, they didn't wear goddamn feathers on their head. They was the bead tribe. They wore beads, okay? They didn't wear no fucking feathers on their goddamn head, okay? So with that being said, I want to go back here and when Europeans started coming here after the Civil War, right? Because they knew we fucked them up at the Civil War, so they started bringing their cousins and shit in here, right? You know, they had a flood of immigrants coming in this country afterwards. But when they came into America, right? They came here and settled on the north and the east coast of America, okay? Now, in these places that they settle all the way up till you get to goddamn Canada, all the way back down to Florida and come back over there to Texas, right? When they came here, right? You can't even say because the Mexicans were still kind of holding it down a little bit in Texas. They were still battling between, uh, the white people, with the slavery and the Mexicans. So it is what it is. That's a story for another day because that's not really where I want to go with this. My point being here is when Americans came here, I think I'm going to say the 1800s, right after the Civil War, and they started flooding America, right? They were coming in America on the east coast of America alone. Okay? So what they did when they got here to America, right? And they slaughtered a lot of our ancestors, right? And the ones they didn't slaughter, they made slaves. Okay? And the ones that didn't were made slaves went to South fucking America, since they don't know their goddamn history either. They keep talking about that goddamn Taino shit, but a lot of the natives that were here in America fled to South America, and but they still ended up in captivity anyway, right? But that's another story for another day. But yeah, I wanted to go there with that because people getting this image of the native, original, true Native Americans of America, North America, right? Original. Okay, because I'm gonna go there with it too. The original Native Americans was black. Okay, they invaded them on the coast of the North and Southeast of America. Okay, so that's where you get people like me with the browner skin and the finer type of hair or whatever you want to fucking call it. You know what I mean? It is what the fuck it is because I don't really believe in that kind of bullshit. Hair is fucking hair. It depends on how you control it. But anyway, they came and they flooded that, right? So that's what happened. And when I say they enslaved them, right? These people, because we didn't really get out of slavery until we freed our fucking selves, really in after the Jim Crow era. So don't get that twisted, right? But when they came here, right? Even the pilgrims when they got here too, right? The Pilgrims is the ones that really slaughtered a lot of our Native Americans before the new immigrants got to America, right? They already had did that. So what I'm saying to you is um, a lot of Black Americans on the North and East Coast of America is the true fucking natives of America, okay? And that's an actual fucking fact. Now let's get over here. Now we know who the natives were here, right? On the north and east. Out west, out west where you had them finer skinned Negroes with the chinky eyes and shit like that, right? They were invaded by the fucking Asians, okay? They were invaded by Pacific Islanders, specifically China, right? So, knowing that, um, and this was during the same time that America was migrating on the southeast, north and southeast coast of America. The Asians was coming in on the west, you know, dealing with their territory too, right? So a lot of them, a lot of the Asians mixed with the Mexicans, okay? So that's why you see the difference in the tone of skin of the natives of the East versus the natives of the West Coast of America. Okay? Don't listen to the, and a lot of them, a lot of our, when this shit started happening after the war and they started burning us up out of our houses and running up all our land, telling us to get out of the town before the sun goes down and shit like that. A lot of our ancestors did migrate uh, in the Midwest, in the middle of the East and the West to get away from that shit, right? But if you look at the geographics of those locations, the Midwest, Ohio, all those kind of, I mean, not Ohio, Iowa, places like that, and you notice there's not a lot of black people there. However, there's a lot of Mexicans, there's a lot of goddamn Asians, right? And there's a lot of $5 Indians all up in that shit. Oklahoma, you name it, they all up all over there. So I want these people who don't know what the fuck they talking about when they say that we are misappropriating Native American or African culture. That both of them are in our fucking DNA, and we could do what the fuck we want to do, okay? Just because we still practice our ancestors' culture, right? Does not make us feel as though we're an African or what they call an Indian nowadays. These are just, this shit is ours by birthright, okay? This has been passed down from generation to generation. Now, if your family and ancestors haven't educated you on that, it is what it is, okay? But I just wanted to educate you, and bring you up to speed on that shit right there. So stop saying that Beyonce was misappropriating African fucking culture, right? Because Africans don't even practice African culture that much anymore these days. So it is what it is, right? So I wanted to get that part of history out there to you guys, to my camp, right? Because one thing about me, I love the word ADOS. I love the word Foundational Black Americans, right? And I'm definitely B1. But if you look at my title, it tells you I think for my motherfucking self, right? I think for myself. I might listen to what people say and then I might take the best parts and keep it moving. But I'm a pro at this. See, I'm not the type that was just sitting around talking and got popular when the internet arrived, okay? I've been around this fucking country. Matter of fact, I drove to and from California by my motherfucking self, okay? By myself. 4.5 days, right? And everybody said, "Why did you do that? You didn't. Were you not um, scared?" I said, "Law was with me, and I didn't need an army." And I knew from that point there that um, I was being sent on a mission, right? So I could teach. Not only can I teach this, right? I have experience from the north, south, and east, and even South America experience, right? Because I've been there and I've done it and I experienced it for myself. So I know the truth from made up fictions and fucking lies and just people who don't really have the knowledge that it takes to articulate for uh, those who don't know, right? So yes, your ancestors were practicing voodoo. They absolutely were, right? And still do to this date. So don't let these motherfuckers fool you. And they also were practicing Native American culture, right? Which is ours too. So it don't belong to the $5 Siberian goddamn West Asia Pacific Island Native Americans, okay? Just don't belong to them. You know, we are the ones who they excluded out of that part of reparations, which we will get double if this shit goes 360, right? So I wanted to get that out there, right? So I don't want you brothers and sisters who do practice your culture to let bozos tell you who don't have proper knowledge and probably never been to these sacred places here in the United States of America to even speak on them, right? Tell you that we are misappropriating anything as far as the head wraps, right? Because we don't call them gays, right? And the reason why we don't call them that because we didn't get that from fucking Africa. We didn't. We were where. Listen, before an African stepped foot on the soil, Black American women were wearing head wraps. And the main reason why is because when we started doing our hair and we started looking beautiful, the white women would get envious. So when we were in public, it was by law that we wore our fucking head wrapped, okay? And then a lot of these motherfuckers, oh, a lot of this shit y'all wear nowadays is ours because we are the makers and owners, right, of fucking cotton. Now, 99% of shit nowadays is made out of fucking cotton, okay? I'm just saying. Just saying. Look at the back of your tag right now. You're wearing my ancestors, right? Work. Um, with that being said, I don't want to keep you guys long, but I wanted to make that knowledge more, and I wanted to give you guys a little bit of that history on how they stole our history, right? They stole our history and they stole our culture, and then when we come out and say something about it, right? They tell us we're misappropriating their culture. It don't fucking belong to you. The same DNA that ran in my ancestors' blood 400 fucking years ago and beyond still runs in it, right? And another thing, those of us who, here's the key, right? Those of us who are the black natives here in America, right? When brothers and sisters tell you, right, that their ancestors were already here, that could be an actual fucking fact, right? Because a lot of us, right, Africans that still carry African DNA in our blood, right? We're a part of the continental fucking drift. You know, but some of these people don't study history, so they wouldn't fucking know, or geography, you know, or latitudes, longitudes. So that is just foreign to their ass. But yeah, there were a lot of us that were already here um, before uh, slavery, even before some of these nomads that call themselves Native Americans even stepped foot on this soil from goddamn Asia, okay, or South America, right? Because at one time this was nomads' land. Ain't no motherfucking body was really claiming this property because we were still confused way by that goddamn continental drift. So don't let these people fool you, right? I don't like it. Especially when we have brothers and sisters out here who aren't fortunate enough to have knowledge of themselves and know their history. And when they do try to grasp onto it, you got these stupid motherfuckers running around here talking about, oh, we shouldn't be following African culture. Yeah, whatever. Whatever you think is clever. I've been following it. I'm 47, right? My nana was 92. She was the youngest at 16 when she returned last year. So that should tell you something. But that's what I wanted to get out there. It was something else I wanted to press on before let you guys go. Um, so I know we were talking about the natives, right? And then we were talking about Beyonce with the link, especially Hades, right? Don't get it construed. A lot of people in the South, right, have Haitian ancestry, okay? They do. It's just an actual fucking fact, right? So dummies from that neck of the woods that don't know what the fuck they talking about, it is what it is too. See, we got books, right? We got books. We have schools. We have churches. We have graveyards. We have African villages. We have 400-year-old houses. We still have devils. We still have oak trees with nails in the blood of our ancestors stuck in it, right? So don't ever tell us, right? The children of Al Kebulan, right? That we are misappropriating our own fucking culture, right? With that being said, I don't know what it was. If it's something important, I'll come back, but I wanted to put that out there for you guys. I don't think I'm coming back tonight. I got some um, head wraps and masks to make, but I just wanted to get that out there with you guys. With that being said, keep your vibrations high. Build with you soon. Peace.